Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials. If you're a regular viewer to my channel, you'll have seen a number of videos where I've talked about weird weather, such as excessive rains, droughts, and also diseases or pests which have been destroying the food production system in different parts of the world. You'll also have seen my videos outlining my experiences as I experiment with gaining the skills necessary to produce my own food after something hits the fan event. Well, here in the UK, I'm experiencing my own weird weather and crop failures. While I appreciate it's not quite the same scale as the major events I usually discuss in my videos, I thought I'd share it with you as there's a lesson to be learned. So let's find out. We're actually quite fortunate here in the UK in that we don't really have extremes in weather. Not normally anyway. We have had some differences this year with some late frosts in April. We've also had a fair bit of rain this year with some flooding in several parts of the country earlier in the year. This particular storm was this week, just a couple of days ago. It woke me up at 3:30. It's been quite muggy for a week now, and I guess this has been building up over that week. And we did have some quite dramatic lightning, thunder, and quite heavy downpours of rain. But as the weeks progressed, the weather has warmed up again, and we've had several days now of excessive temperatures. As I suggested earlier, here in the UK we have quite a temperate climate, and even in the heights of summer we're not used to excessive temperatures. But this year is a little bit different. Across Europe, the temperatures have risen steadily, and record temperatures have been broken in several countries across Europe. Over the last 2 or 3 days here in the UK, temperatures have been in the high 20s and into the 30s, and today, while I was at work, I thought it was getting rather hot. I thought I'd pop out to the car and just check the temperature. And as you can see, we've reached 39. So today, according to the news weather forecast, it was a record, all-time record high here in the UK today. It kind of makes it difficult to know what to do in the garden, whether to water, whether not to water, and such big swings do definitely have an impact on the planting. As we've seen in some of my previous videos, the weather, especially weird weather, can also have an effect on normal crop pests and diseases, and actually make a situation far worse than it usually is. And unfortunately, in my garden this year, this has also been the case. Well, there's good news and there's bad news with the raised bed. Good news is we're getting lots and lots of peas coming, and buried amongst the foliage we've got bean plants coming. Lots of peas actually, they're everywhere, and this bean plant is actually flowering now. But the bad news is, as you can probably see, we have got lots and lots and lots and lots of caterpillar damage. We've had a really hot few weeks. It's obviously brought out all the butterflies. I've just been plucking off leaves left, right and centre, and if you look down here, there's the little critters. They are absolutely everywhere, and I mean everywhere. So we do have broccoli coming. We do have, buried in amongst here, cauliflowers starting to come. But yeah, this has been absolutely a banquet for the caterpillars. But we'll see what happens. Never say never, and everything's a learning curve. But the peas are actually extremely tasty because I've had quite a few of them already, and it's only been a few weeks since they started coming through, so that's good news. Again, focus on the positives. Carrots are doing very nicely now, as are the potatoes. These actually won't be far off now. Some of them are actually dying off, as you can see, so they are getting ready. The tomato berries are still in there, they're not quite ready yet. So we'll see what happens with those, and I will definitely be trying to save and plant the seeds. So the idea of putting out this video was to let you learn from my mistakes, and hopefully there are some key takeaways that you'll get from this video. First thing I would say is that maintaining a garden requires a great deal of planning, knowing what to plant, where and when and how, but it also needs constant supervision, making sure that you're regularly watering at the right times. Pest control, I'm learning the hard way. Know what kind of pests or diseases can afflict the crops that you're growing, and know what you can do to prevent that. With hindsight, I should have had some netting across the top of that raised bed, and I didn't. Succession planning, I've kind of half got that right. I did give a break of about 4 weeks, and then in the gap that I'd left in the raised bed, I did plant some succession crops, but as you can see, those too have been hit by the garden pests. So there's a few key takeaways from there. It is all about learning from mistakes, and clearly I will do that, and hopefully, having seen mine, you can do the same. But I guess the key message out of this video is that if these crops fail, because this is an experiment for me, I'm just trying to learn how to grow things just in case I need to know in the future when something hits the fan. So if these fail, I can pop down the shop and I can buy whatever it is that I was growing. It's there on the shelf. However, as you've seen in previous videos, there are a number of crises hitting around the world that will dramatically affect food supplies this year and into next year. So if something did hit the fan and I was growing my garden and we had the results that I'm seeing right now, we'd be pretty much buggered. So learn, get all the skills that you can, so that you can successfully grow your own food, and be aware of the pitfalls and make sure you do something to avoid those pitfalls. Well, that's it for this video. I hope that you found something in there that was of use to you. If you did like the video, then please do click on the like button. Also, feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done that. As always, welcome any comments, questions or suggestions that you might have. Just leave them in the comment section below. Are you growing a garden? Any mistakes that you've made that you want to pass on so that others can learn from your mistakes? If so, just leave them in the comment section below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.